First of all, I like my smell. I think I should wash myself more. Saying these horrendous things just because they are uncomfortable to say, but there's some kind of truth in it. Anyways, I realized that just talking things out in the self-therapeutic and cathartic way is very important for me. Today is one of those days where I feel like it's part of my growth journey. I cannot really accelerate the growth journey. I'm really working as hard as I can. I can only push it so far. What I can do is to long-term set myself up with systems that make my success more likely. And that means, in practical, everyday layman terms, finding a girlfriend. Finding somebody that wants to be with me, that I can lay with for an hour or two, once or twice a week, in an embrace. Doesn't need to mean sexual intercourse. To relax and wind down, have skin-to-skin contact, oxytocin or whatever that does, I don't know. Has that been frustrated in the relationship with my mother? I don't quite know. It says that children who lose their mother early take quite a long time to mature. Chloe Madana said that. The brilliant psychologist that has teamed up with Tony Robbins and has devised this brilliant training program that I'm a part of, the Robbins Madana's training. She said that, yeah. And so just realizing that I still got lots of time this year and I am making the progress, everything that I need to do in order to set myself up for success, to be able to document my 30s, live as a content creator with massive marketing skills, learning and knowing how to earn my own money online. Yeah, and I feel like saying, although that's not the right thing, if I just had a girlfriend, everything would be different. These are kind of the thoughts that tend to come into my mind when I'm in these states. But I also know that I spend years walking up and down my apartment just talking to myself in this way and just created more of what I didn't want. But sometimes it's also hard to speak the dream life like that into existence, of saying, I have a beautiful girlfriend next to me every day, I'm having great connections with my beautiful wife, right? Yeah, and I've also realized that casual encounters, casual dating, casual sexuality has not only been one of the most fun, most exciting, but also I have to say, I hate to say it, but it is what's truly feeling inside. One of also the most fulfilling things that I've done so far in my life. I've done public speaking too, but I never really felt I was good at it. And with casual dating, it's just like a clockwork. It just works. And it's the conquest. It's expansion. It's breaking through, breaking somebody open. That's a weird way of saying that. But breaking through the resistance of somebody. Right? In an elegant way, in a playful way. Not with force, but with learning. Yeah, it's good that I speak it and I know how weird this fucking sounds. But it doesn't sound weird when I'm just speaking it into my mind, right? From my mind, like if my mind is speaking it to me, right? Who is the I that's perceiving the speaking, right? That's the question. Yeah. But it's certainly more fun than anything else that I've done, including public speaking and giving my own seminars, because I wasn't really quite so good at that at the beginning. But I also know that, yeah, it's instant gratification, obviously, the sex. But long term, the seminars are going to be much more fulfilling because, yeah, I have these moments where I just see the colors of light and healing. I remind myself more often than that. Also, I'm going to put this note down right now into my mission and vision document here. I'm going to read to myself every morning. As a micro habit. My mission is to display free, authentic, fun self-expression. And letting the energy circulate naturally. This is my mission that I am committed to embody. Right, that really is it. Because I realize that also other people who are very successful, they don't really have that radiant, joyful, what I see in myself when I only have enough connection. And now I have cleared out all of these confusions inside of myself. Now it's just to find a good woman to vibe with, to wife with, and to live this life, who shares my vision. I realize that I've just listened to Leila Hormozi's video about finding the right partner. It really is that important. Because currently right now, I don't really want to share with my girlfriend my dreams, because she doesn't really care. She does not really care. Or maybe she fucking does care. Or maybe I'm just being unreasonable. She also always says, like, yeah, talk about your stuff. I want to listen, I want to hear, but I feel she does. Yeah, it's probably me. Well, I feel like it's not real enough yet for me to speak with conviction and with passion. And actually, I don't want to talk about my goals when we meet up. All I want is like embrace her and fucking rest for once. You know, because I'm hitting it hard all day. Yeah, it's weird to speak through this and hear myself saying that, but like actually all I want right now is just shut the fuck up, let's lay in bed and let's just fucking let me just rest for like 2 hours and just take in the warmth and just take in the connection. And then we go dinner or something, but let me just rest for a little bit, right? Yeah, if I don't get that restfulness, then I just sleep more during the day, little by little. And at some point I can't really force myself anymore to just sustain this level of energy of working all day, throughout the day. I'm just taking more rest, and at some point 10 minutes that I take rest is not enough. And put the alarm for like another 5 minutes. You know, I'm glad that I'm not snoozing anymore, but I also did that in 21, 22, 23, no 23 not, but 22. Right? Laying in bed for like an additional 2 hours or so. Trying to think, trying to get clarity on what the fuck is going on. Because it wasn't just myself, it was the whole situation. I was like, I never had a situation where I was like the fear of war. That was crazy. That was like, now I get it. It's like, yeah, it's just more of the same. We just gotta make peace with that, I guess. Right? It's like, may happen. It's fine. Right? Like, I can't spend like more years being afraid of it, because it's like, it's just more of the same. If it happens, then alright. Yeah. You live and follow your mission until you die. And that's always the case, right? So like, it's what it is. But back then I was like so freaked out about it, because I'm like, man, I haven't even lived my own dream, I fucked it up, oh no. And now this on top of that, now I will never have the opportunity again to live my dream. I should have done this earlier. I had the opportunity when I was just 20 years old, didn't really go for it. Fuck. Right? I was so afraid of it. And yeah. That after all led to a whole different cascading series of just laying in bed. Then we started a company. I joined the company called GetOutOfBed.net. Exactly. See the coca? No, you don't, I guess. Yeah. Get out of bed. So I had to get out of bed. And I realized that it also takes time. It takes some years. Life was many years and it's meant to be so. And I've walked up and down my room so many times, always talking, and it came out good. But in front of the camera, not quite yet, but I will get back to that. And now I realize why I didn't make this social media content, because it is really true that I just have to put myself into the right circumstance, into the right state of mind, and things come out of me naturally. And that's what I always thought is like, first of all, I gotta fix the situation that I'm not so afraid anymore, which means I have to buy a piece of land and get a homestead going, some security, some little straw of security that I can cling onto, kind of control my circumstances, right? I realized how security driven I was. I always thought it was like significance and growth. Nah, man, it was certainty and significance. I always wanted to be certain, predicted, that I can actually do this well, being over prepared just so that I'm certain that I can actually do this. I wouldn't do anything if I wasn't certain. I didn't have sex until I was 23. Unbelievable, because I didn't know if I could even do this well. If like my penis was big enough, if I even knew how to do that. So much insecurity. I'm not really going for it. I remember that one young girl when I was just 15. I was like in another town with my friends out, like grew up in like a little tiny village type of thing, and went to the next biggest town, 250,000 people, fairly big. You could do something there. And we went to this birthday party, some 16th, we were all very young. And she was like, "Hey, my parents are gone, you can sleep at my place." Right? And I'm like, "No, I sleep at my friend's place, that's fine. You arranged it already." I did not understand what she was saying. Yeah, I was insecure in this moment. I mean, of course I fucking understood what she was saying, like on some level, but on some other level there was the fear was just so intense where I'm like, what if I fuck this up? What is it not big enough? What is like, if I don't know what to do? What if she doesn't like it? Like then she's gonna tell everybody, like what? Didn't go for it. Maybe she would have liked it. Maybe she would have become my wife. Who the fuck knows? Just gotta go for it. Didn't do it. And a few other times, when I was in Cologne getting started. This beautiful, intelligent, blonde, German, Russian girl that was very aligned with, in terms of values. She also wanted to do a thing with seminars. We met at a seminar. It was great. Very aligned. She also was more of a, I don't want to say loner, but like she struggled with finding friends that supported her. It would have been great. I went, visited her. We just talked and chatted. Just embraced her and didn't even try to kiss her. I was just so insecure. Got in my car and I hated myself for fucking weeks afterwards, man. I remember when I came back to Cologne, I was just stuffing myself with the worst fucking food. So hatefully, man, and so violently. To fucking punish myself. Because I'm like, man, how, like, you want her, like, what the fuck? She's single. Like, she wouldn't fucking invite you, like, come on, man, you know? She wouldn't invite you over if she wasn't at least interested. I know she liked me. I know she liked, like, kind of the passion that I had sometimes, but I was going so weak whenever I was talking to a woman. So weak. Because I just didn't have a center. I've never done it. I didn't have any friends. I was like so shaken. I was like, this is the only way I can get happy. If I'm just with a woman, just any fucking woman. Just a little bit of it, some crumbs, man. Then I'll be able to have some kind of stability in my life, some emotional foundation on which I can build on so I don't fucking crash myself always. Right, now I can see that there's a lot of immaturity, but now I can also see how I'm still like this in a way. Where I'm like, I kind of need a woman in order to be able to work consistently, because otherwise my mind is just not functioning right. I just tried, speaking in some articles, and I know what to say. I know if I'm in the right state, I have such a treasure of ideas and articles through hundreds of books and seminars and tapes. I have it all inside of me if I'm just in the right state, but if I'm not, it's so hard to bring this out. And I know what cures it. And as ugly as it sounds, I can also cure that with prostitutes. And I know that's wrong, but it fucking works. Short term, just, you gotta always kind of replenish it once a week or so, but it fucking works. It's just skin to skin connection. I know it's horrible, I know it sounds absolutely ugly, but it is one thing that works. I just gotta find another thing that just works the same. Because what can I say? It's like, it's hard to explain them. Maybe some of you, you don't quite get it, but it's like, for me, it's like a box that needs to be checked. It's like clean food. If I just eat carbohydrates all the time, without any protein, without any veggies, I feel it in my energy. It's like, it's getting messed up. It's getting my energy messed up. You know what I mean? If I'm like traveling somewhere and they don't have proper food, like here in Peru, somewhere in the very, very countryside where I used to go there and like, hunt for land. I was like, they eat the worst fucking shit and they wonder why they're all poor and ugly. Yeah, it's because of fucking that, you idiots. But they don't know. I mean, they do know. They fucking know. They just are poor. You can't afford any better. But they could afford any better because you can grow all of the stuff here. Yeah, it's interesting, but they just don't. Maybe that's some self-punishment, certainly lack of self-worth, certainly lack of comfort, because the ugly food is comfortable, right? Yeah, and it fucks up their whole entire life for generations to come. Children get all weak. There's so many disabled people here, man. Because people eat like fucking pigs. It's like, yeah, it's crazy. Totally crazy. You eat this crap and you wonder why your child is stunted and a little bit retarded. Like, you're not seeing that? When you're 42 and you're having a child and you're just eating the worst fucking fried shit, like, yeah. It's incredible, but yeah, it's sad. And I also knew is like, my mother, she probably ate tons of crap, right? Industry food. Can you imagine that, man? When I was young, I only drank like fruit juice. My whole teeth were fucking rotting away. Unbelievable. How can you allow that as a parent? It's crazy. But if you don't know, you don't know. If the child says, I want it, and you need the love from your child, then you give your child everything that they want. And it goes on for generation, for generation, for generation. And then you have a system that just, makes you just work a lot. Not teaches you anything about life. Then you just get stuck in the rut. You keep the same thing to your children, but now it's a different time. Now we gotta heal and wake up. Or face the consequences and perish. No, it's our choice. No. And so yeah, sometimes I really just feel sayings like, if I just had a girlfriend, everything would be so different. If I just had like a little bit of skin to skin connection, everything would be different. And I know I've said this thousands and thousands and thousands of times to myself in my head and also out aloud. In these dark years, man, when I was just so lonely. And that created just more of the same, because whenever I was interacting with a woman, it was just so like, I must not make any mistakes here, because she's got what I so desperately wanted. This is my ticket right now. This is my ticket to getting myself in order and finally be able to fucking work consistently, because I know I have the intelligence, man. I know that I'm very intelligent. And I know that I'm super creative. And I know that I'm fucking hardworking. I know that I can suffer for my dream. But to suffering through the courage of actually getting over my ego, that's what I didn't want to suffer. Suffering in the gym, making myself strong and worthy of a woman, I didn't want to suffer that either. So I did want to suffer, but only in the way that I wanted to suffer. Like this weird pity pot suffering, not in this heroic courage kind of suffering. That I didn't want to do. Still don't know if I want to do that. I know I have to wake up and face my fear of dying, go through this inner process of dying. But it's scary. It feels like my breathing stops. And it does. But it's not because you're dying, it's because your body doesn't need any oxygen anymore. You're just so quiet and all your cells are just at equilibrium. This beautiful state of mind. When you sink through the fear of dying, you reach the bottom of existence and you wake up. Been there many times in the process, never had the fucking guts to do it. The same way as I never had the guts to actually talk to the women that I really, really wanted. Always let them go by. Because the more I wanted them, Or the more I wanted a woman like that, the more insecure and the more afraid I was, because the more was at stake. So I rather took the suffering of beating myself up afterwards instead of actually owning up to it and racking up the courage and actually doing it. And I know I shouldn't be even talking like this. I should just affirm it. But maybe there's also the time to there's a few times actually tell the story and actually speak what has been going on in my mind for years, because I've never fucking shared that with anybody. Not even with my best friend here, that I'm actually sharing a lot of things, because we only have limited time, man. We see each other once a week, once every 10 days for like an hour or so. That's not fucking enough either, man. I just need more connection with people and more sharing. It's been fucking me up for years, man. This kind of lack of connection. But also, what do you do? Like, I gotta sort myself out in some way. Although the connection was always what I was needing and what I was wanting and what I believed would make me happy, what I'm really good at, like connecting people, making connections, communication, empathy. I know that I can be world class at that, because I've proven that already. Nobody that I knew was as charismatic as I was back then. It'd be better if I had other people say this about me, but they freaking would. Because that was the truth. I was having some kind of radiance towards people, making them feel so great. And I can get back to that. I just had to go deep inside of me and heal those things. And now get back to all of it. No. And grow and build myself into the person who is worthy of success. I know I can. I don't know I will, and I must. Because now, with $1,000 in the bank, it's running way low. I can probably sell a few more things for like another $1,000, but that's what fucking it. Gonna sell my leather jacket and my shoes. Not gonna sell my camera. Gonna sell my asshole before I sell my camera. That's also unacceptable. I will never do that. So, yeah, man, I'm gonna talk to people. And I love talking to people. But it feels like I would be much more strong in talking to people if I would actually have a fucking girlfriend going. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I know how horrible and how needy that sounds. It's absolutely incredible. But at least I have the courage right now to share that publicly and just speak this out and speak my mind. And the same way as I've started in January, February, writing down my thoughts into my notes, into my phone, notes into my phone. Super helpful in helping me clarify my mind. Speaking like a millionaire. I don't know even if I should use the word super. I don't think billionaires do that. I don't think so. Or at least they have the capacity to not need to use the word because they have other eloquent choices of it. But I'm just going to keep going and practice what I need to be doing here in my lifetime. Helping people. And I know that this is my path and my purpose. And I know that that's what I'm here to do. So yeah, I will do that. And if it wasn't for the lack of connection, I would be already there. Or is it just for me making excuses? I don't know, but I do think we all have real needs for connection. Some more than others. And I believe my own unworthiness and this deep, deep wound inside of me that seems to be there, just kind of craving some female love and attention, telling me that you've done well, that I've done well, that I'm worthy and deserving and don't need to talk so much anymore, that I'm good the way that I am. But I can tell this to myself. I don't need a woman for me to do that for me, right? To do that to me. Right? Yeah, it's interesting what kind of truths come out if you just let it roll. Ayahuasca has helped tremendously. Hundreds of journeys with mescaline have helped tremendously in liberating these. But yeah, it takes time. It takes fucking time. So I feel relieved immediately. Like I don't need so much connection anymore. Maybe it's just talking about my feelings, the connection with myself. Because that's what Tony Robbins explains also, the crazy age, you go and you push, and then you get sad, and then you connect with yourself first of all. Maybe I generally should connect with myself more. That would be a good idea. And I think this is the way to do that. To talk this through with the camera. In order to find a good wife later on, being worthy of that. That's interesting, because worth is... My girlfriend told me that looks like a fucking grandfather. But I was gonna say she looks like a grandfather too, but that would be harsh. But yeah, I don't know, is it a test? Is it a test? Are women out to get me? That's the question. I cannot wait to actually get back into dating. The next year, when things are established and I have my client relationship done, to actually do some journeys with mushrooms again. Just record content, just make it better, make it like that, just channel through some lessons that I've learned, that I'm continuing to learn. It's going to be so beautiful. And so yeah, we're always coming late to the wrestling class, but the teacher doesn't have any standards himself. He doesn't wash himself before the class, only after. And I should be able to point this out to him, but yeah, it's weird. Yeah. The weaker I feel, the weaker you feel, you don't want to confront things because you don't confront things within yourself. And so everybody here is just fucking pushing things away, and so do I. That's why I came to this place, because it was the only place that wasn't really hurting to my ego, because everybody's fucking immature here and fat and ugly. And I was like, oh, that's a place where I can feel at home, where I don't need to be feeling afraid. Everything is the cheapest of the cheap. But it is kind of beautiful here, I thought. I mean, at least there are parks and flowers, but streets are full of dog shit. It really is a horrible place. I mean, yeah, I can see the positive in it. But man, I was really not looking at the negative for so many years, because I wasn't looking at all of that ugliness, of all of that imperfection inside of myself either. I was just running away from it. I thought, it's so beautiful, because I thought of myself as I'm so beautiful, until I realized what kind of an immature piece of shit I've been. I know this is very hard. I should talk to myself with more self-love. But yeah, should I actually? Was it time to actually... Or is there merit and value in that also? To just say the things the way you are, the way they are. Am I the way that I am? Who I am? And what is real? What's going on? Yeah. It's interesting. And so yeah, I feel that I need to make myself worthy of a woman. Be strong and intelligent and rich. I mean, I am intelligent. Kind of capable of providing a good sexual experience. That I've got going for me. Kind of got myself in order. I like that. I really have a good vision. I actually know how to really make her feel good. Like emotionally, I'm saying, like through conversation. When I'm in a good place, but it kind of requires her going first in a way, because I kind of need this connection before, and when I'm then really sure and really certain that I have it. But the better the woman, the less certainty there will be. Because she's going to also pull it away to test me. That's certainly going to happen when I still hold these things inside of myself. Or is it? Or can I just find a woman who's just loving and giving, like a mother? But do I want a woman who's like a mother? Yeah, that's fucking interesting. Or do I want a woman who's like a daughter? Or do I want a woman who's like a dog, who just does whatever the fuck I tell her? Probably also not. Right? It's interesting to find out who I am and what's going on. And to let my heart shine, the original message was all about the heart. Where is that now? How to follow your heart, how to live by the heart. Have I lost that with the prostitutes? Have I lost my heart with the prostitutes? That would be sad. I think I can revive all of that. I kind of thought, it's like, look, if I just, because I was so fucking empty at this point, man, when I did that. I just didn't function right. I thought, like, man, now I was single and frustrated for so long, and like I had the opportunity to just do that in Thailand once, maybe, just try it out. A lot of people do that for the first time, to just know what it's like, to get this emotional fucking pressure off their chest, right? Because it was like all occupying me. Part of me was thinking, like, man, just get some peace and fucking just do it once, pay her a little bit, just one time. But I had a higher standard. I said, like, no, I'm not that kind of person, man. I can't do this naturally. I'm a good person. That's when I was 19. And then, like, years later when I was 27, like 8 years later when I was like, man, I can't fucking take this anymore, man. It's like, I just need to do it right now and just can't take it anymore. 8 years of like not getting what I want, just constant frustration and deprivation was just too much at this point. With the wars and everything else going on, I was like, man, fuck that. I'm just gonna go travel to the place where this is cheapest, to Bolivia, where I have to go anyway for my visa. I have to cross the border anyways. I'm just gonna do it, man. I'm just doing it. And I hoped seriously inside of me that maybe I could just do it with as many hookers, that I would have enough variety, that I just didn't need this in a woman anymore. I was just ready for marriage because I just realized that everything is kind of the same. Some girls are taller, some kind of smaller, but their genitals are kind of all the same. It just really depends on the heart that the genital belongs to. That makes all the difference of how the person makes you feel, right? And I'm also afraid to say that, but like it actually kind of did the job that I wanted it to do. I'm like, okay, I don't need to look for that much variety, because I was like sick of like chasing. It's like trying to fill something. I'm like, man, can I just have with 100 women and like just get it over with and just have this variety so I can finally just focus on one person? Yeah, it was a completely weird way of thinking, but it kind of did the job, I have to say. It's like afterwards I'm like, okay, now I've kind of seen it all. And it's kind of all the same. It just really makes the difference what kind of heart belongs to the person who has these genitals, right? So yeah. Anyway, we're coming too late to the Western class again. There's a woman there too. I kind of get half stiff when I'm wrestling with her. It's fucking embarrassing. That's also one of the things, man. I do not want to mix this energy in with just friends that I have or like random women. It's just not good, man. I just need to find a way to handle this in a good way. And the easiest way would be just to have a girlfriend. It's like, is this so fucking hard to get one woman to stay with me? Am I that much of a piece of shit, man? This is crazy. Yeah, that's how I would talk to myself for years, man. And I could not focus on my work because this is all that was going through my mind. I should have just spoken this to the camera. I had a camera that I made videos. I stopped making videos. I should have made videos about that. Didn't. Well, yeah, now I'm gonna go take a shower to give the example to my teacher on the things that he's not willing to do. He's gonna go and reek and take the shower afterwards, but that's fine. I will address that at some point. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for talking. Speaking it through, because I know it will liberate, and I know that this type of medicine will liberate a lot of people. If I can just help people speak that into an LLM that's locally hosted in the cloud and not just ChatGPT, and people can talk about these things, it's a great medicine. Aho.